Hey everybody, week 7 discussion board. We've got a lot of interesting things to talk about here. We're going to have a couple of threads or a couple of topics. So we're going to do it like we did last week. There's going to be one thread that I'll provide, and if you want to, you can just make all your posts within that thread. If you want to start your own thread, you can certainly do that as well. But these are the topics we'll be talking about, or there are these topics that we'll be talking about. We're going to start with 2. I may, depending on how the week goes, I may add a third one. We'll see. Maybe by Tuesday or Wednesday, just keep your eyes peeled, and I'll try to. I'll see if depending on how things look, I will try to add a third one. So, what are the 2 that are going to be starting out the week with you guys? Well, we're going to have one on PowerPoint, which kind of makes sense. We're talking about PowerPoint this week. This one is going to be about templates, though, so it's going to get a bit more specific. In the lecture, you're going to be learning about how to do this and how to do that in PowerPoint, all the different tabs and all the different functions and features and stuff. It's great. You're going to also learn about kind of the ins and outs of doing a professional PowerPoint. What are the things you need to do in a presentation? What are the things you need to avoid in a presentation? Great. This one, though, we're going to talk more specific and more, on some of the more subtle aspects of PowerPoint. And we're going to find that those subtleties may be not so subtle. They may be important. So when we think about templates, we're thinking about the background. We're thinking about how the information is actually presented. We're thinking about the color schemes, the subtle background designs, these little kind of faint images or something like that are in the background. What impact do they have on a professional PowerPoint presentation? So this is going to give you an opportunity to go very in depth and to think very thoughtfully about what these seemingly basic things actually can do for your presentation. You're going to actually find some in PowerPoint, and you're going to attach them to your post so we can see what you're actually talking about, what you're actually analyzing. So that's one of the topics. The other topic is a really cool one. I know we've been doing a lot of this stuff week in and week out, talking about different kinds of technology, specifically, web-related technology. So we've been talking about social media a whole bunch. We've been talking about emerging technology and automation. We've been talking about browsers. We've been talking about search engines and all the things related to, data mining and collecting our information and privacy, right? This week we've got a really interesting one that if we were to talk about this 25 years ago, people would have thought this is pure science fiction. No longer, though. This is virtual reality. All right, so it's going to be a link to an article from Forbes magazine about virtual reality in the workplace. How do you see virtual reality playing a role in the workplace? Maybe in your specific workplace. Those of you who are going into policing, is there a role for virtual reality? Those of you going into the healthcare fields, is there a place for virtual reality? Hint, hint, there is. There's a lot of those things that kind of scare people about virtual reality. They watch these movies like Ready Player One, which is based on a really interesting novel, which I would recommend you give it a look. It's a cool book, a cool story. And so people think that they're like, oh my gosh, virtual reality paired with social media, it's the Book of Revelation, the end of the world kind of stuff, right? There's it's an easy thing to do is to kind of look at the negatives. Are there benefits though too? So we can talk negatives, we can talk concerns, but we can also talk benefits. This is going to be a really interesting topic. I hope you guys get into it. I hope you really find a lot of value in it. And again, keep your eyes peeled for a potential third topic rolling out a little later this week. Thanks, folks.